And tonight is very special because we're hearing from a very talented student of the Writer Center. Flannery Deering has a list of illustrious degrees. She has a degree in business, a degree in Spanish literature, and a fine arts degree in writing from Manhattanville. And all of that, including a background in finance. And yet she's written this stunning memoir, and critics have spoken to the craftsmanship of the work. And as well, it's called An Important Book That Will Open the Reader's Eyes to the Effects of Schizophrenia and the Need for Change and the Power of Family Love. I'm really thrilled that Catherine's reading from this book in this space tonight. Please welcome her. Thank you.
To the Hudson Valley Writer Center and you personally for making this event possible. I'm really happy to be able to introduce you all to my book. It's called Shot in the Head, and the subtitle is A Sister's Memoir, A Brother's Struggle. And you're going to hear a little section that explains how that title came about. It begins with a chapter called Hawks on the River. Looking out over the Hudson River. That's what I chose to read. It was mid-October and my turn to visit my brother Paul at his nursing home. His next oncologist appointment wasn't for 2 weeks, and I didn't really know what to do with him. Over the past 30 years, it had been one visit every month or two, an awkward burger and fries at a diner, and a quick look at some photographs of nieces and nephews before I dropped him back at his mental hospital or group home. With all the doctor visits lately, we'd already been through all that. I decided to take him for a little drive. It was a beautiful fall day in the Hudson Valley, the maples and ashes all red and gold, the sun warmed through the car windows. Chemo treatments had taken their toll. Paul's face looked pasty in the sunlight. He was very quiet today. He stared out at the streetscape as we drove past the hospital and on down Main Street, as if he were memorizing every house, every bodega. A barge made its way slowly upriver, heavy with cargo. Paul watched it. Then he blew on his hands and pulled his knit cap down over his ears and his straggly-haired chemo head. You're cold, aren't you? He nodded and hugged himself. Let's go get some coffee somewhere and warm up, he said. We went back to the car. I just don't feel so good, he said, shaking his head slowly and holding his hands over the warm air vents. It was 50 degrees outside. I moved the heat to a higher setting and gave him the blue paisley lap robe I kept for him in the back. He leaned into his seat, the blanket pulled up to his chin, and he closed his eyes. I fiddled with the radio. Do you believe in reincarnation? He asked me, his eyes still closed. Paul and I were raised Catholic. It had been a long time since the Baltimore Catechism. I'm not sure, I said, wondering where he was going with this. How about you? He sat up and nodded emphatically, pulling his chin up till it nearly touched the tip of his nose. I do, he said, I do. It's better than clouds and hearts. He laughed, then stopped to cough, coughed some more, and grabbed some tissues from the pack on the floor and spat into them. He balled them up and stuffed them in his pocket. I got the shitty end of the stick this time, he said. He paused and looked at me. I didn't mind doing my turn for all of you, though. Don't get me wrong, he said, hands out, palms down, like an umpire calling safe. I mean, you guys have been the best. We were driving along the edge of Bear Mountain, back down the winding road toward Peekskill and his nursing home. You did have an unlucky time this cycle, I said, trying to watch the road. What would you want to come back as next time? How about as an eagle? He didn't need time to think. Nah, he said. Next time I just want to be one of the sane ones. He chuckled softly and looked out the window. And on the other side of the low guardrail, the hillside dropped away, almost straight down to the river, far below. The eagles were nowhere to be seen. So that was one one of the few moments when fall actually